The New Orleans Saints had a very interesting but very solid draft this year, adding players like Talise Fuaga, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and possibly the most interesting pick of day 3, Spencer Rattler, in I think round 5. So today, we are going to be rebuilding this Saints team with their rookie class, and we are going to see if there's something to work with Spencer Rattler. So this should be a good one. But I'm really excited to get into this one. This is going to be my first rebuild with a rookie class. So for this special video, let's see if we can get to just 2,500 likes. We've been hitting that lately, and if we can, it'll let me know y'all want to see another rookie rebuild or rookie class rebuild. And I mean, imagine if everyone left a like, we would be at like 30,000 likes or something. I would very much appreciate it. It helps YouTube know that people are enjoying this video. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, if you like Madden rebuilds, because there are going to be a ton of fun ones coming up very soon. Trying to hit 60K by the end of May, I think that's very doable. And last thing, I'll say shout out to Galaxy for the suggestion of this video. I think they were the first one. Their link is in the description. And if you want to shout out, or if you just want to let me know what you want to see, let me know that down in the comments. I'm especially looking for draft-related ideas right now. But without further ado, let's get into this rebuild. And I guess I'll share my opinion on the Saints draft for a quick second. I really like what they did. There were definitely some questionable picks, like I didn't really love the Bub Means pick. I feel like there were definitely better receivers available. Fuaga was a good pick. That definitely doesn't look like him, but there are just not good faces in Madden. Same with Spencer Rattler. I do think the Spencer Rattler pick was an amazing one, though. I would have taken him like late second, early third, just to gamble on upside. To get him in the 5th is very good value. Especially getting to sit behind someone like Derek Carr, who I know isn't the best, but, you know, he has experience. And then I'm obviously a fan of the Kool-Aid McKinstry pick. Jalen Ford, that was a fine pick. He's just a little not athletic, to put it nicely. And then Christian Boyd I really like. I ran out of time to make him, but I do like him. So overall, I would give this class like a B+. I just wish they took a different receiver. Anyways, yap sesh over. Let's get into more yapping. Let's just get straight into this rebuild, and we will see how this team's doing by the midseason point. It's going to be interesting to see. But at the midseason point, we are actually 3-4. Definitely a better start than I expected. Oh yeah, and I guess I should have addressed this before, but we're obviously not going to start Spencer Rattler yet. I could, but this is supposed to be a realistic rebuild, and unless there's an injury to Derek Carr or something, I really doubt Spencer Rattler is going to start as a rookie. I mean, I guess you never know. Maybe something really clicks in camp, but I think we're going to start him next year, which, if he does end up starting, that's probably earlier than he will, but he is the point of the rebuild, so we'll start him then. There really isn't much for us to do here. I mean, there aren't really any re-signings to worry about, so we'll just get to the end of the year. We're 3-4 now. Hopefully we don't fall off. It looks like the Colts are really struggling, but we will see how we finish off the year. Hopefully our defense gets better, but we'll see. Okay, well, we finish 8-9 in year 1. That is almost exactly where I didn't want to finish. We won't have a great draft pick, and we obviously don't make the playoffs, but we were close. The Buccaneers won the division at only 9-8. Also, the Falcons and Panthers were 7-10. This was the most mid-division of all time. But Derek Carr actually did all right. I'm gonna feel bad replacing him, but I am gonna give Spencer Rattler a shot next year. 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, only 5 picks. That's pretty decent. Alvin Kamara, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. 1,100 yards for Chris Olave and A.T. Perry. Of course, even having an 1,100-yard season, he only goes up 2 overall. Thanks, Madden. But very good year for him. The blocking was very good. Eric McCoy wasn't great, but the rest of the line held up well. Pete Werner, 133 tackles, led the team. TFLs 16 for Saunders and Brzee. And then sacks, 5.5 for Brian Brzee led the team. Chase Young had 3.5 sacks. Carl Granderson had 1. I wanted to get him more playing time. Cameron Jordan had 0 in over 1,000 snaps. I mean, I get he's a franchise legend and everything, but I think we're gonna have to let him go this year. We'll see if he retires, but that's rough. And then picks, 4 for Lattimore, 2 for Werner, Matthew, McKinstry, and Howden, and 1 for Demario Davis. MVP goes to Joe Burrow, though. Derek Carr at number 9. That's not really what I wanted to see. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Saquon Barkley. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Rashawn Gary. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Malik Neighbors. I wish I could make these players count as not rookies anymore, but for some reason you can't change years of experience in Madden. I don't know why, but A.T. Perry was at number 4, even though he isn't a rookie anymore. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dallas Turner. Interesting. Jared Verse at 2. McKinstry McKinstry at 3, we'll take it. But let's get into the offseason and let's see if there's anything we want to do. Actually, I think we're gonna still be broke. It says we have 36 mil, but I think that's for this season. I think by the offseason, we might have a little less. We had negative 50 mil at the midseason, so we'll see. But in the Super Bowl, the Cowboys beat the Ravens 28-27. That's the new Super Bowl, apparently. I'm sure we're gonna see that like 3 more times in this rebuild. Can't wait. Very possible one, though. I will give Madden that. I mean, I don't know how possible the Cowboys are to make the Super Bowl. That's not really a sentence, but you know what I mean. But, like I predicted, we have negative 32 mil in cap. Let's get to the draft. But in the draft, we pick at number 15. I was hoping it would be a touch higher than that, but it is what it is. The Cardinals have the number 1 pick. But let's see what we want to do here. I can't tell. I might have accidentally set the strong draft classes too late. So these might just be normal ones, but I mean, even if they are, it's not really a disadvantage for us. You know, it's a normal draft class for every team, so it is what it is. I do like Bernie Weber, though. We do kind of need a tight end. A run block, A catch in traffic, A deep route. I wish he had slightly better short route, but 4.63 speed is good enough. Only marginal strength, which is a little surprising with a run block, but he does look pretty good. Great speed, elite strength, or elite acceleration, elite agility. I think we're gonna take him. I didn't really find that good of a receiver. So yeah, we'll take a chance on Bernie Weber. Probably not amazing, but probably good. Hidden dev, only 84 speed, but 90 excel, 88 agility. We'll take it. And here in round 3, I definitely want to look for a lineman. I don't love this team's offensive line depth, especially. I don't really see a great lineman, though. Jerry Knox had a good combine, has really good speed, and great strength, but he doesn't have any A blocking stats. I mean, he is A impact block and lead block, but I'm talking, you know, pass and run block. He's pretty well balanced, though. Even his power, which isn't his strongest suit, is only a C. He might be pretty good. We might take him. I just think he might only be like a 73 overall. You know what? Let's go with Andrew Bailey. I do like that he is A pass block finesse. His pass block power might be a little worse than Knox's, but he also has, you know, C run block power, even though that's not his strength. We'll take him. Hidden dev, 90 strength, 84 excel. Again, we'll take it. Oh, and last pick. This guy is really interesting. James Whiting didn't participate in the combine or his pro day, maybe hurt, and only solid speed and change direction and only decent acceleration, so maybe he isn't great. But y'all know I like playmaker receivers with good medium route, and he has A to B medium route, A to B awareness. Only F carrying for a playmaker receiver. That's not great, though. I mean, I don't see another good receiver at all. So, well, Matt Moorhead, actually. He also has B medium route, but only B to C awareness. He has about the same ratings. Let's just go with James Whiting. Probably not good, but he could be. So we'll take him. Normal dev, we'll see. Okay, I definitely didn't set the strong draft classes in time. This one was horrible. Bernie Weber is only a 73. I was afraid of that, but I thought he would be at least like a 75. He's just not a good route runner. Despite having A deep route, it's only a 65. I mean, I get he's a tight end, but still. He'll start. He very well could develop. Andrew Bailey, a 73, was a good guess. And then James Whiting is only a 70. That's tough. The CPU even took a better receiver. Brandon Riddick, little better speed, good catch in traffic. He's interesting. Okay, yeah, the number 1 overall pick was only a 73. So even though we had a bad draft class, every team had a bad draft class. There wasn't even one 80 overall. I did want this tight end, but he went at number 3 overall, so it is what it is. Let's get into year 2. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2. Now actually up to an 83 overall, like we are looking pretty good. And we'll have a couple rookies starting on offense like Bailey and Weber. We'll see how they do. Not the best overalls right now, but they should develop. Thankfully, they do both have dev traits. And most importantly, we are gonna start Spencer Rattler, and we'll see how he does. I don't know what we're gonna do with Derek Carr. I guess we could trade him, but I don't really know who would want to trade for him. The Colts signed Mac Jones to start over Anthony Richardson. That's definitely an idea. Ooh, the Raiders still haven't drafted a QB. Do we send Derek Carr back to the Raiders? I don't know. I'm not even sure if we are going to trade him. I don't know who would want to trade for him, especially with his contract. So I think we'll keep him until his contract is up or until we can cut him. But here's the defense. Pretty much just the Saints defense. No differences here at all. Because, you know, we were too broke to do anything in free agency, and we mostly drafted drafted offense. But let's get to the midseason point. We will see how Spencer Rattler does, and hopefully we can do even better than last year, but we'll see. Okay, well, we are only 2-5 at the midseason. One thing I want to say is if Spencer Rattler sucks by the end of next year, then we're gonna replace him for the final year or two. Because, you know, we're trying to be realistic here. If your 5th round quarterback doesn't play well, it's fine to move on from him. Now, if your 1st round quarterback is not playing well, you're more inclined to, you know, try to make him work, but so far, okay. He's doing a lot worse than I expected. A lot of the time, bad overall QBs can still play well, even if they're a bad overall, but 7 touchdowns to 11 picks. That might be where he's working soon if he keeps playing like this. He's only gotten sacked 5 times too. The Lions apparently playing really well, so no excuses to be made there. We do have the worst defense in the league though, for points per game. That's not great. And we have a decent amount of players to re-sign. Paulson Adebo, Pete Werner, Rashid Shaheed, Tyrann Mathieu. We only have negative 18 or 19 mil. I don't know why I said only like it's a small amount of money we have. No, we have negative 19 mil. That's a lot worse than just a small amount of money. But we should be able to restructure out of that, hopefully. Not much we can really do right now, but we'll see by the end of the year. So speaking of the end of the year, let's get there, and hopefully we can bounce back, but I think we're already going to change the defensive playbook. We'll see. But here in year 2, we unfortunately finish 5-12. That's rough. You know, on the bright side, we'll get a good draft pick, and we should be able to sign some good free agents this year. We should be able to clear up a ton of cap space. But let's see what went wrong with our season stats this year. So Spencer Rattler, let's just focus on the 3,600 yards. That's okay. 23 touchdowns. He only got sacked 23 times. That's pretty good. Let's ignore the 24 picks that he threw. That's not great. What did he develop up to? He's up to a 71. We're gonna give him a shot for this next year, but that's the last shot we're gonna get him. If he doesn't do well next year, we're gonna find a new QB for years 4 and 5. But Alvin Kamara also wasn't that good. 900 yards, that's fine, but only 3.8 per carry. 10 touchdowns, that's something. And here's another random receiver leading us in yards. Brandon Riddick with almost 1,100, 5 touchdowns. Could be up there for Rookie of the Year. We'll see. Chris Olave also had over 1,000. The line, of course, held up really well. 130 tackles for Demario Davis, 124 for Pete Werner. TFL's 23 for Chase Young, 19 for Saunders, 18 for Brazee. But sacks, once again, 3.5 led the team, because that's realistic. Also 3.5 for Granderson, 2.5 for Young and Werner. Did we break 20 total sacks on the year? I don't know, but we almost had more interceptions than sacks. We might have. But 4 for Lattimore, 2 for Adebo and Matthew, and then 1 for 4 players. We'll check out our stats in a second. MVP goes to Jalen Hurts. That's cool, sure. Caleb Williams on the Bears at 6, Jaden Daniels at 8. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Saquon Barkley. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Micah Parsons. Big surprise there. Mac Wilson at number 2. That's interesting. Offensive Rookie of the Year does go to Brandon Riddick, so we get one good thing from this season, thankfully. We needed it. Weber at number 3, and Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Rayshon Stecker for the Packers. That's kind of a cool name, especially for a defensive player. But, yeah, we're changing our defensive playbook. I think we're just gonna go Bills, because that's usually, you know, the 4-3 defense that gets the most sacks, at least, you know, when I use it. We could also try the Raiders, but when I use it, I have bad experiences. Same with the Cowboys. The Bills is always just my safe bet. I'm thinking about changing the offense too, but we'll just hope it's because, you know, we have a 70 overall quarterback that we're doing poorly. And as for dev traits, unfortunately, Weber and Bailey only have star. But on the bright side, this should be a better draft class, of course. And just a better offseason, because we should have money. So let's get into free agency, and we will see what we can do. But in the Super Bowl, the Cowboys beat the Browns here, 28-21. This is going to be a Cowboys rebuild, isn't it? Already 2 for 2 on Super Bowls. That's great. How are the Browns here? The Browns have worse cap space than us because of Deshaun Watson. That's something. Oh, wait. And actually, I always almost forget to do this, but question of the day. Let me know this down in the comments. It's definitely a fun question of the day today. What team do you think had the best draft? this year. I'm kind of leaning towards the Steelers. I think the Steelers were my answer last year. I feel like they've been crushing the draft. And this year they really addressed the O-line, added a receiver. I mean, the Steelers could be really good this year. I haven't really had the time to really go over and look at every team, but just off of what I know they did, adding, you know, Roman Wilson, Peyton Wilson. They have a lot of Wilsons now. Troy Fatanu, Zach Frazier, like they had a really good draft. Even Mason McCormick, I loved that pick. But again, let me know in the comments who had your favorite draft. I mean, you can copy me if you want with the Steelers draft, whatever. Just let me know. But for re-signings, we have negative 23 mil. It's restructure time once again. Oh, we should be able to free up a ton of money though. How much would it save to cut Derek Carr right now? 34 mil? Yeah, goodbye. Honestly, this might be painful, but Alvin Kamara wasn't that good last year, and to cut him, it is gonna save 22 mil. So unfortunately, he's gone. Honestly, Taysom Hill, he might be up for a contract, but this will save 10 mil. I moved him to fullback because we had like 5 tight ends, and he was like an 85 overall there, so I was like, sure, why not? But yeah, honestly, even Juwan Johnson would save 5.5 mil. We're gonna have a lot of cap space, thankfully. But now between that and the restructures, we have 72 mil to work with. We went from negative 23 to positive 72. We almost saved 100 mil in cap space. That's insane. But we're gonna be spending a decent bit of it here. Paulson Adebo isn't interested. He did get superstar dev. I want him back. We can offer him 5 years, 85 mil. That's a long deal, but I would be okay with it. He does take it. Cool. Chris Olave will pick up the 5th year, obviously. Pete Werner, we'll go player friendly just to be safe. We'll go 4 years, 44. That's still cheap. Rashid Shaheed, you know, he's good in real life, but he hasn't really been getting used that much here. I don't really even know how to use receivers with the Saints playbook. It seems to just use the number 3 receiver on paper, I guess. Like, not even the slot receiver. I had Chris Olave as the slot receiver just because he was the highest overall there and I wanted him to get used, but it didn't do that. I mean, it did, but it used Riddick more. So should we put Chris Olave as our number 3 receiver? That would just feel weird. I don't know. But Rashid Shaheed, I'm good, unfortunately. Honestly, Tyrann Mathieu, a 1 year 12 mil deal wouldn't be too bad, actually. He does take it. And then everyone else, I think I am good. So let's get into free agency and we will see if there's anything we can do. But in free agency, it's kind of a disappointing class for us, at least. To be fair, I don't really know what we need to sign necessarily. We could sign a defensive tackle, actually, but it's just the same two as always. It's Grover Stewart and Michael Pierce. I just feel like that would be boring. It's the two we sign every single rebuild. Is there a defensive end? I mean, Charles Omenahue's 280, but he's definitely more of a defensive end. Jerry Tillery, I'm good. I also do get Milton Williams a decent bit. We'll just draft a defensive tackle at some point. I think the only player we are gonna go for, unless we don't get him, is Javonte Williams. I submitted a very player-friendly offer, and then I even upped it like a decent bit. We unfortunately couldn't get into the full green offer, but we do. I would guess we have a lead over the Bengals for him. You know, we need a running back. Our running back play definitely wasn't good last year with Alvin Kamara, so we'll see what Williams can do, assuming we get him. And of course we don't. Why would we? He doesn't sign with anyone, to be fair. But let's see if he signs now. Oh, he does sign with us. Okay, cool. Like 95% of the time, if a player doesn't sign with you in the first week, they're not going to sign with you at all, but he does here, so we'll take it. But here in the draft, we surprisingly have the number 2 pick. I don't know why I don't check more, like, before the draft to see what pick we have. Oh, I know why I don't. The game lies. Like, I'm sure if I would have checked what pick we had, it would have said, like, number 6 or something. Even after the year. Like, it's not because the season isn't over or anything. It's just broken. So that's why I don't check before the draft. I think even last week, it would have said, like, maybe number 1 or number 5 or something completely different. I don't know how that even happens. I don't even know what could cause that. Because doesn't it just go straight off of the season standings? Also, we don't have a second round pick for some reason. Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, that's why I don't check before drafts, because it'll be different by the time we actually get there. At number 2, though, I think we're going to take a receiver, and that is Courtney Arnett. Kind of a crazy name, but he looks insane. The only thing I don't like is he only has, I almost said C catch in traffic. He only has D catch in traffic, even worse. I mean, to make up for that, you know, he has A, awareness, deep route route, short route, spec catch, medium route, catching, ball carrier vision, break tackle. You know, just a few A ratings, nothing crazy. Only solid speed, but elite change direction and acceleration. He's a top 5 talent, we see that. Can't wait for him to have normal dev. Okay, no, he does have hidden, thankfully. 95 excel and change direction, only 90 speed, but that's fine. He looks ridiculous. Not perfect because of the speed and catch in traffic, but really good. Should I steal our second round pick back? Who has it? Is it the Broncos? Yeah. Where did their second round pick go? Or no, that's not our pick. Ours would be 34. I'm confusing myself. Oh, the Eagles have it. Can I steal this back? How about a 2027 second? Okay, sure, sounds good. Because these aren't real life picks. These are like pushed back a year. So we should have our second round pick by this year. I'm not even sure what I want to do with this pick, to be fair, but we'll do something. Ooh, Garrison Charles. Hold on. He's 316 pounds and ran a 4.81. I'm not sure what overall he would be at defensive tackle, but he's a freak. We're turning this into a freak build. All right, let's get freaky. Let's go with Garrison Charles. He does have hidden dev, surprisingly. I thought for sure he would have normal because he's athletic, and this game just hates athletic players for God knows what reason, but he looks good. And like I said, I have no idea if he's gonna go up or down at defensive tackle. But last pick, there are actually some kind of decent safeties. Ooh, Bo Rice. Looks decent. I don't love the play rec, but everything else is a B, it looks like. There is also Joe Hitchens, who I kind of like more. He has A-man coverage, elite change direction, agility, and acceleration. Only solid speed, no, marginal speed. But I think he's gonna play safety for us. I mean, he is a slot corner, so that kind of makes sense. He probably already does play a little bit of safety. And he does have A tackle, so I think he'll be a decent overall there. Only normal dev, but 95 change of direction and acceleration and 97 agility. Good lord. But here's how he did in the draft. Courtney Arnett is an 81 overall. He is very, very good. Maybe the best player in the class. I doubt it, but at least, I mean, we know he's a top 5 player. I would guess top 3. We'll check that in a second. But Garrison Charles was only a 72 overall at defensive end. He did go up at defensive tackle. Oh, he just has 0 pass rush. 67 power moves, 62 finesse. Not great, but he is a really good run defender, so we'll take it. And then Joe Hitchens was a 74 at corner, stays a 74 at safety. Very much not a scheme fit, but oh, he has 58 zone and 80 man. That might be the biggest difference I've ever seen for a player in man and zone. That's insane. So yeah, I see why he's a 67 zone safety. Maybe we should move a few things around there. We'll see. And then the CPU pick Terrell Jackson, 72 overall safety. He looks good. Steven Allman, does he have a dev trait? He does. Okay. One thing I, was hoping the CPU would draft is linebacker, and it did, because we do have a couple good ones, but I wanted one more. I guess we also have Jalen Ford, who is like a 70-ish, but Allman's an upgrade, so we'll take it. Definitely a really good draft, even though, we only got one 75 plus in Arnett. He's a lot higher than a 75, but still. And he was the second best player in the class, it looks like. Andrew Haywood, a safety, went at number 6. Interesting to take a safety at number 6, but sure. There was also a really good running back and a really good tight end at an 81, but hey, we'll take the second best player in the class. Arguably the best if you, factor in positional value. So we'll take it. But here's a look at the team heading into year 3. I'm wondering, should I put Arnett as the third receiver? Is that actually how this works? Or does it just use like the number 2 slot receiver? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out this year. But we have an 84 overall offense despite only having a 72 overall quarterback. So hopefully that can carry Spencer Rattler at least a little bit. Pretty good additions in Javonte Williams. And then Courtney Arnett at receiver. He is very much not a scheme fit. Physical is his worst fit by 5 whole overall, so that's great. He has good spec catch, just not good catch in traffic. He is 6 foot 205 though. I'm surprised he's not a better physical receiver, whatever. And then on defense, it's definitely good. It's definitely a lot younger than our offense. Don't quote me on that. I don't really think that's true. But we do have a few rookies starting on defense in Charles, Allman, and Jackson. Something I didn't check for some reason is if Terrell Jackson had a dev trait, and he does. So we'll start him at free safety. I don't know about a free safety with 84 speed, but let's hope we don't send him deep too much. Or I guess let's hope we do to make up for that lack of speed. I don't know. But I'm really interested to see how Charles does as a rookie. I'm really interested to see how this whole defense does now that we hopefully have a better playbook, because we all know playbooks are the only thing that matter in this game. But let's get to the midseason point of year 3, and we will see how this team does. Oh, well, that's not what we wanted to see. We are 1-6 at the midseason. The Cardinals are only an 82 overall, but they're 6-0. I wish this game would just not favor every other team and actually give us a fair shot when we have a better roster. What's going wrong this year? Oh yeah, and by the way, I'll point something out in a second. Spencer Rattler isn't doing well, but not, I would say not horribly, but 10 touchdowns, 10 picks. He has a good completion percentage, but yeah, that's tough. Ooh, Andrew Bailey. Okay, we're gonna bench him, and maybe Cesar Ruiz. Okay, but why it's interesting that we are 1-6 is because we started off the year with a win over the Seahawks, of course, my favorite team. Great. And we have been on a 6-game losing streak since then. They're all close games, or at least most of them are close games, but 6 losses is 6 losses in a row. So yeah, we'll bench the guards. I don't even know who we're gonna bench them for, but I'm gonna reiterate my strategy of it doesn't really matter who you bench guards for. Most of the time, just changing who it is makes your O-line do a million times better. I don't know why. This game's so broken. It is unbelievable. At least for offensive linemen, I should say. It doesn't really matter who you bench him for. They'll do better. Ooh, Arnett has superstar dev on a positive note. I think he's the only superstar dev we have hit in a draft so far, so that's unlucky. I feel like every time I rebuild the Saints, it is one of the hardest rebuilds I end up doing. Not because it's necessarily tough, like we have a decent roster, it's just we get unfathomably unlucky throughout the rebuild. So hopefully our bad luck can end here, and hopefully we can finish the season at least better than 1-6. But we have some re-signings to worry about. Chase Young, hell no. Let's trade him, actually. He has had 7.5 sacks through the last 2.5 seasons. That is insane. You're getting traded. Oh, well, perfect right here. The Bears' #1 need is a right end. Oh, they don't have the cap space, of course. But we'll take a 2nd-round pick for Chase Young. That's probably too much, but definitely too much with how he's been playing. But he is an 87 X factor at only 26, so, you know, the player on paper, probably worth a 2nd-round pick. I don't know. I already made the trade. It is what it is. And then everyone else, Tyrann Mathieu is 33. Demario Davis is 36, so we're not going to re-sign him yet. All right, there isn't really anyone else I want to re-sign here. So let's get to the end of the year, and we'll just see what happens. But here we are at the end of year number 3, and if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video if you're enjoying so far. I would appreciate it. It helps YouTube know that people are enjoying the video, and again, I don't remember what like goal I set, but I think I said like 3,000, or no, 2,500. I don't know. Just be sure to like the video if you enjoy it. And of course, subscribe for more, because there's going to be a lot of fun draft rebuilds coming up, and let me know any ideas you have for any draft-related rebuilds. I'm thinking about maybe the Patriots with Drake May next, but let me know which one you would want to see in the comments. But at the end of year number 3, we are up to an 84 overall, which isn't fantastic, but it's a better overall than our record, I'll just say that, because in year number 3, we finished 6-11. I'm not sure what to do. It's not like we have the best roster on paper, but it's definitely better than a 6-11 roster, I'll say that. Because like we saw, the Cardinals were 6-0 with an 82. The Commanders are an 80. I bet they had a better record than us. The Cardinals are still only an 82, and there are a lot of 83, 82 teams, which we are obviously better than. And if we had actually played well, we could be like an 85, 86 because of positive morale and development. Let's see what went wrong. Spencer Rattler wasn't necessarily the problem this year, but I don't know if he's the solution. 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 17 picks still. Nice completion percentage, but that's about the only nice thing I can say about him. Javonte Williams was all right. Chris Olave, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Okay, so it is just the number 3 receiver that gets like the most production. So we'll put Arnett as the number 3 next year, unless we change this offensive playbook, which we might. Ryan Ramczyk was horrible, and this is the first time I've ever seen this happen. Trevor Penning actually did worse than Andrew Bailey. Normally, if you change the players, like Richard Cruz, they do much better than the player you are benching, despite being a much lower overall. Trevor Penning was the exception. He did horribly at left guard. Cruz did really well at right guard, though, so it worked there. I don't know what to do. Demario Davis led the team with 150 tackles, though. TFL's 19 for Charles as a rookie. He was very good. Brian Bryan Bresee with 15 TFLs and sacks, 8.5 for Granderson. Was Chase Young just the curse? Granderson suddenly started doing well. Charles had 8 sacks, 5 for Foskey, which isn't amazing, but it's better than Chase Young did by a long shot. And then Marshawn Lattimore, 3 picks, 2 for Allman and Adebo, and then 1 for Werner and Jackson. Can't wait to get number 2 for Defensive Player of the Year, or Rookie of the Year. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Josh Jacobs. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Nick Bosa. It's finally someone different than Micah Parsons every year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, oh, we get number 2 there. We get cucked already. Luke Morris of the Cowboys wins it. Arnett at number 2. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, we get cucked by a division rival. Did I call it or did I call it? Dean Hooker wins it for the Buccaneers. We get number 2. This game hates me. All right, we're going to change the offensive playbook too. I don't even know if it's a problem, but we might as well. It's been bad. I'm just going to go Chiefs, and we'll go West Coast spread. Someone was telling me that I shouldn't use the Chiefs playbook if we don't have a good tight end, which fair, but overall doesn't matter in this game. So it's like, I don't know. It seems fine. I know it's very tight end heavy, but when we used it, it didn't even throw to the tight end that much. Our tight end didn't have many catches. So I don't know. I don't know what they were yapping about. I think maybe if you go West Coast spread for the offensive playbook, it maybe uses the receivers more, or it just happened to not use the tight end. Plus we had like an 85 overall tight end. I don't know. That made me like reevaluate the Chiefs offensive playbook, but like, I don't think that means anything. I think it was just unlucky. We'll see here, but let's get into the offseason, and I think we are going to look for a new quarterback here. It would have been nice if Spencer Rattler did well, but, you know, he should have done well. There's our favorite Super Bowl. The Chiefs beat the Cowboys 21-16. At least it's not the Cowboys three-peating, but there's the Madden Super Bowl. In 4 re-signings, I guess we'll pick up the 5th year for Bryan Bresee. I don't know if we'll get to that point anyways. Trevor Penning, hell no. Tyrann Mathieu, how did he do? No picks. 6 pass deflections is pretty good, but I mean, that wouldn't be amazing for real life, but pass deflections are pretty low in this game, at least for safeties. We'll let him go. He's really old. Same with Demario Davis, maybe. He's still playing well, though. 0 picks, but 13 pass deflections. I don't know why linebackers get so many pass deflections. We might look to upgrade there. We'll see. We very well could re-sign him, but let's see what we want to do in free agency. I'll restructure all our contracts again, and we'll see how much money we have to work with. But in free agency, it is definitely a decent class, and we are going to try to take advantage of that. Ooh, Aaron Rodgers is still around. That's really interesting. I don't even know the last time I've signed a free agent quarterback, because usually I just prefer to, you know, draft one. He hasn't been doing well, though, to be fair. Wait, has he been playing? Has he been a backup? It looks like he hasn't played since 2023. Has he not played in like 2 years? Okay, someone must have signed a really expensive backup quarterback, or, you know, the Jets just must have signed a different QB for some reason. But we are going to go for Joel Bitonio, Geno Stone, Jake Ferguson, and Shaq Barrett. You know, the Shaq Barrett on paper might be a questionable signing, but, you know, if you've seen one of these videos before, you might know that Shaq Barrett's one of the best pass rushers in this game for whatever reason. Let's see if he's doing that well here. Usually he is, but looks like he just hasn't been playing much. I guess he wasn't very good for the Dolphins a couple years ago, but 6 sacks this last year. I mean, that's worth like $6 million or whatever we're going to pay him. So sure, why not? But let's see if we can sign these players. And it looks like we get Bitonio, Stone, and Barrett. Jake Ferguson still hasn't signed, but let's see if he wants to sign now. Still no. How about now? Still no. But no other teams have really changed their offers, so let's sim a week and see if he signs. And he doesn't. Where does he go? He goes to the Rams, who had a worse offer. Cool. He really didn't want to play for us, I guess. But it is what it is. We have a decent tight end anyways, so let's get to the draft. But here in the draft, we pick at number 7. I was hoping it would be a little higher. I mean, we went 5-12 last year and had the number 2 pick. I guess that's kind of abnormal because, you know, usually 5-12 isn't the worst or the second worst team in the league. But oh no. There's one first-round talent QB this year, at least from the ones we scouted. I was hoping that Spencer Rattler would do well, so I didn't focus scout QB, but maybe I should have. How much would it be to trade up for, like, the number 2 pick? I don't want to trade up for number 1, so if the Giants take him, the Giants take him. Do the Giants need a QB? It doesn't matter. They could have a 99 overall quarterback, and they'll still take a QB. They have Daniel Jones. So they might. But I don't even know the last time I've seen seen a quarterback go at number 1, to be fair. I'm sure this will be the time. Nope, it's a defensive end. Why? You needed a quarterback. Okay. The Rams, do they need one? No. They have a superstar backup, and they have Baker Mayfield. So this is the team that's going to take the quarterback. Watch. No, they might not. No, they go with the receiver. Okay, I'm trying to find a good spot to trade up. The Steelers could take a QB. They don't really have anyone great. I don't think they would take a QB. Well, they might. All right, I think this is where we'll trade up. But here we are going to be trading, of course, the 7th pick for number 3. We're trading a 2nd this year, a 2nd next year, and a 3rd this year. This maybe isn't enough because they know we're going to take a quarterback. Usually, you know, you have to give up a little more for a QB, but it's fine. We have an extra 2nd-round pick from the Chase Young trade, so this doesn't hurt us too bad for our other picks. We just really don't have a 3rd-round pick now, but that's fine. We will take Dan Hartzell. If he has normal dev, I am going to cry. I shouldn't have even said that because now he's gonna, but we'll take him. Okay, he has hidden, thankfully. 93 throw power, 90 excel, 89 change of direction. He looks really good. But now in the 2nd round, the later 2nd, because this is the, whose pick is this? I mean, this is the one we got for Chase Young. Where did we send Chase Young? Was it the Packers? I think it was the Packers. I don't know what I want to do here though. Safety was my focus position, but there aren't really that many good safeties left. What's Jeffers' speed? Oh, he had solid for almost everything at the combine. That's not great. He does have A awareness though. I don't know. I'll look through and we'll see what we want to do. Ooh, Chester Swan is interesting. He's a playmaker. We don't really need another receiver though. He does look good. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Ooh, Ty Elfman also looks pretty good. There are quite a few players I kind of want here, honestly. But I think I'm gonna go with James Vaughn out of Texas. Great strength, great speed, elite jumping, elite agility. He had at least great for everything at the combine. Has a lot of A ratings, and his power isn't even that bad, even though that's not his scheme, or not his archetype. I feel like lately when I've picked centers, they've been really disappointing in terms of overall, but he does look good. I'm hoping he's at least like a 75. If I would have taken this guy like a few months ago, though, or like a month ago, I would have thought he was like an 80 plus, but now I'm like, hopefully he's not a 72. But let's take him. Hidden dev. Oh yeah, and we don't really need offensive line on paper, obviously, but this is just my replacement option for when someone underperforms. We'll just sub him in. He's our insurance option. Unless he's like an 80 or something, then we'll probably start him. And then I don't know what to do with this last pick. Let's go with Justin Harrison. He looks really good. Maybe not the best run defender, but he does have B block shed. Only C to F pursuit and C tackle though, but I like the block shed. He also has 40 bench reps, only great strength, not elite, of course. Does have elite jumping though. He had a 35-4 vert at 300 pounds. Good lord. He also has A power moves, A player act. I don't know if he's amazing, but we kind of need D-line depth, so we'll take him. Hidden dev, 92 strength. Probably should be higher, getting, 40 bench reps at the combine, but we'll still take it. That's a great 4th round pick. I forgot we're in the 4th round. That's a really good pick. But here's how we did in the draft. It was definitely a solid one. Hartzell's a 77. I don't know if he was the best quarterback, but I'm hoping he was. We just didn't really get to scout any of the others. I guess we'll check in a second, but James Vaughn, 77 overall, he is good. Again, if this was like a month ago, I don't know. I haven't really seen anything mentioned in the comments. I've asked, a couple times if they changed how draft classes work, because I've been like taking players and I'll expect them to be like an 80 and they're only like a 74 or something. But at least Vaughn is a 77, we'll take it. And then Harrison's a 75, and my last pick was Justin Grant, who has 99 speed, 99 excel, 82 deep route, 87 spec catch, 82 catch in traffic. How's he only a 72? I mean, I know he has bad hands, but just send him deep, question mark? Like, and hope he catches it. This is kind of MVS, but like a lot faster. I guess he's smaller than MVS by a lot, but 82 catch in traffic, 87 spec catch, that's similar. He has 97 kick return at least. This guy's really interesting. If he had good hands, he would be like one of the best receivers in the league. And then the CPU did well too, 72 overall corner and 71 overall running back. We'll take it. Oh yeah, and I want to see where Hartzell ranks for quarterbacks in this draft. There were some good players though. Couple 82s, couple 81s, couple 80s, and Hartzell was the best QB. It doesn't look like there was really anyone close. So hey, we'll take it. Yeah, no, the next best was Ford out of 74. But now we should be looking good. No more Spencer Rattler, which, that's the point of the rebuild, but he was doing poorly. We weren't going anywhere with him. So let's get into year 4 and we will see how the team's looking. Okay, we are looking all right heading into year 4. This is definitely not the best team I've ever had heading into year 4 at only an 84. Maybe one of the worst, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how the new offense does and the new, I guess not new defense anymore, but hopefully it does better this year. It did all right last year, definitely better than the year before. This really just still kind of resembles the Saints defense though. I mean, we still have a few players like Lattimore, Adebo, McKinstry, Brazee, Granderson, Werner, Jalen Ford, still a decent amount of Saints players here. Really not a whole lot has changed. So we'll see how it does. And really the big question is, how is Hartzell gonna do? You know, really good throw power, really good short accuracy, really good break sack. He looks good. So hopefully he does well. And we have a lot of depth on the O-line for when we need to bench a few of them because they're playing like shit. So let's get to the midseason point of year 4 and hopefully we can finally do better than 6 wins. Okay, there we go. Finally, we are 5-1 at the midseason point. Good lord. Our defense is doing well. Our offense actually isn't that good, surprisingly. Who knows though? By the end of the year, things are usually entirely different. We'll probably have an amazing offense and a horrible defense. But I don't think we need to bench anyone, thankfully. Actually, we'll check. Ooh, Hartzell's doing really well. Let's see the blocking. Who's doing the worst? Ooh, Fuaga is doing horribly. Okay, we're gonna bench him. He's on pace to allow 15 sacks, maybe? How many snaps did he play? Or has he played? 378. He's on pace to allow like 13. So let's not do that. Let's put, oh God, I don't know if I trust Andrew Bailey. He's only 6'1", too, so I don't know if I want to do that. Do I trust Cesar Ruiz? Maybe. He has been really good except for last year. So we'll try that, and we have 25 re-signings to worry about. Yeah, this looks fun. This might have to be the last season. I don't know if we can recover from this. We'll offer Chris Olave 6 years, 136. He takes it. Marshawn Lattimore will go 2 years, 31. He takes it. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it's better to keep all these players in a contract year. Yeah, I might not re-sign the rest just because it might make them play worse. So this very well could be the last year depending on how we finish. So let's get to the end of the year and hopefully we do all right. But here we are at the end of year number 4. And again, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. I know I literally just said this, but we'll build a little suspense here for our record. It's definitely interesting. But yeah, again, be sure to leave a like, subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos of draft related stuff. Y'all know the drill. Let me know what team you want me to do. Turn on notifications for the channel. I need to remember to plug that more because whenever I do plug it, it seems like a million people do it. So be sure to turn on notifications for the channel. It'll let y'all know whenever I upload and you can be one of the first people to ever see these videos if you want to. But anyways, in year number 4, let's go over dev traits first. We don't know what Harrison's is, but he did develop a decent amount, so it could be better than just star. We'll see. And then on offense, Hartzell only has star, unfortunately, but Vaughn does have superstar, which is nice. And in year 4, we finished 15-2. Do y'all see how much playbooks matter? I mean, I know we got a new quarterback and everything, but like, even if we had Spencer Rattler, I bet we would have gone from like the 20-something ranked offense or whatever we were last year to like probably top 5-ish this year, even if we still had Spencer Rattler, just because playbooks matter so much. Oh my God. Okay, maybe not. Well, no, I still think we would have done a lot better with Rattler, but Hartzell, 4,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, 7 picks. What's the record for touchdown passes for a rookie? Is it like 29 for Justin Herbert or 27? I don't know. Hartzell beat that by over 10. He had 40, only 7 picks, 75% completion percentage, 121 passer rating. Yeah, he was a little better than Rattler, but I think Rattler would have had at least a much better season than he was having in this new offense. But Javonte Williams, 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns. He was good. 1,500 yards for Olave, 16 touchdowns. Weber with 1,250 yards and 11 touchdowns. Damn. Even Riddick did pretty well. Again, I wish we could get Arnett more involved, but 696 yards, nice. The blocking was good. Erica McCoy has been really horrible. I mean, not really horrible, but for his overall, he hasn't been playing super well. I mean, you want to shoot for like 3 sacks per year for centers. 7 isn't great. Ruiz was definitely better at left tackle than Fuaga, I mean, not a whole lot better, but better. And then on defense, I see something interesting. Pete Werner led the team with 126 tackles. TFL's 19 for Granderson, 19 for Charles, 14 for Barrett, and sacks, 18 for Carl Granderson led the team. He had what, like 2 the first year? I mean, he had a 1, but he was a backup. He had 3.5 the next year, and now he's gone all the way up to 18, just randomly. It's not like he's really developed an overall either. You can't really make that excuse. He's just entirely randomly started to play better. That's something. But 7.5 sacks for Shaq Barrett. He was definitely worth the like under 7 mil per year we paid him. 5 for Charles. Really hardly anything outside of that, but we'll still take it. And then picks 4 for McKinstry, 2 for Werner, Jackson, Stone, and Adebo, and then 1 for Lattimore and Ford. But oh god, Mahomes wins MVP. Dan Hartzell at number 2. I didn't know he was gonna be that close. Bruh, we got number 2 for MVP. Are we just gonna get number 2 for every award in this rebuild? You know what? Let's see. Let's see if we get number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. No, we get number 3. Okay, well, just because I said that, of course, we get 3 instead of 2. Hartzell at 5. We get number 2 for Defensive Player of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson wins it. Granderson at 2. We literally got number 2 for every award here, and we didn't win 1. Actually, we won 1 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, now make that 2. Hartzell wins it, of course. Nobody up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year. This game hates me. I mean, I'm glad we went, 15-2 this year. That's crazy, so maybe it doesn't hate me that much, but we have to get number 2 for every award. We'll take an Offensive Rookie of the Year, though. I mean, I definitely won't complain about that. The Cardinals made the playoffs at 7-10? What is this game? What's happening? Oh boy, this is a weird rebuild. But yeah, we're definitely making this the final year. We're going out on a positive note, because if we play another year, we're gonna go like 0-17 next year. So let's see who we're gonna be taking on in the divisional here. It is gonna be the 10-7 Chicago Bears. I definitely can't complain too much if we lose this game, because they are an 88 to our only 86, but hopefully we win. We deserve it after massively underperforming for the last 3 years. We have a first of many scenario though. We will go play it cool, y'all know me. Unless you don't, then fair enough. Then you should subscribe if you haven't already. But let's see if we can take down Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. It looks like they also have a really good tight end, Taylor Stockton, 94 overall X Factor. Let's get a quick look at the Bears, just because I have a feeling this is our last game. They also have Jalen Johnson doing really well, DJ Moore. They still have DeAndre Swift. I mean, this is pretty much just the Bears with a really good tight end. And they got Jared Verse somehow. Did the Rams just cut him? Okay. Well, they also have a really good rookie corner, Terry Good. Only star dev, but 97 speed, 85 man. This is a scary team. I can't be too upset if we lose, because we're only in 86, but without further ado, let's see if we can win our first playoff game of the rebuild. And we do, 28-17. Okay, we'll take it. We definitely didn't deserve it based on overall, but we kind of did based on how much we've been underperforming. Ooh, huge upgrade, our 3rd string tight end. You love to see it. But now we're gonna be taking on the 13-4 Philadelphia Eagles here. Yikes. I mean, we have the better record, to be fair, but they have a 4 overall better team at a 90. We have a hot opponent scenario, though. I would argue we're hotter at 15-2, but it is what it is. We will go be confident. Y'all know me. And let's see if we can take down the Eagles and move on to the Super Bowl. And we do. We win 34-31 against the Eagles. We have some upgrades. James Vaughn, we'll take that. And we, of course, have a recap for the hot opponent. I think this gives us, like, morale and XP or staff points or something. I don't know. Plus 10, all those ratings, and 2,500 XP. We'll take it. Oh, and our awards are going to take effect. That's actually huge. Aren't they? I think they are. Okay, yeah, Dan Hartzell gets 2 upgrades. 1 for Williams, 1 for Weber, 1 for Vaughn. And let's see if we got any dev traits. I guess it doesn't really matter because this is the last game, but it'll still be cool to see. Hartzell, unsurprisingly, gets superstar. Same with Weber. And on defense, Granderson went up to superstar. He's playing with 8 morale. Not necessarily morale, but just boosts in general. Geno Stone finally got star dev. It's kind of crazy that he didn't have it to begin with. with, but let's jump into our final game. We have a Super Bowl Media Day first. This is everything. This is the final game of the rebuild. It's disappointing we couldn't do this with Spencer Rattler, but we just couldn't do this with Spencer Rattler. He wasn't doing well. But let's jump in and let's watch it simulate. Let's see if we can beat the Colts in the Super Bowl. But here we go in the Super Bowl against the Colts. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is a rematch from what, 2007? Oh no, 2010. And I mean, the Saints won that one pretty easily, 31-17, so we will see what happens here. We take an early 7-0 lead. Did we drive 3 different times and only get 1 touchdown? We are up 21-7 though. We are driving again and we stall out. We drive again and stall out. Good Lord, this should not be close at all. We are up 28-10, now 31-10. Okay, cool. Whoa, 31-17. I wish it stayed at that score, but we win 38-17 over the Colts. This is like the least deserving Super Bowl I have ever had at only an 87 overall. But hey, after the torment we've been through in this rebuild, we deserve a Super Bowl win. I saw Spencer Rattler jumping around. I mean, we get him a Super Bowl ring, starter or not, so that's huge. But what a way to finish off the rebuild. This is always the best outcome. A Super Bowl as the last game. You know, again, unfortunate that we couldn't get it done with Spencer Rattler, but we just wouldn't have been here with Spencer Rattler. We had to switch it up. I kind of wish it finished 31-17, but close enough. We'll take more points, I guess. But this was a very interesting, very challenging rebuild. I'm glad we got a Super Bowl out of it though. Definitely one of my worst teams by the end of this in a long time, but I mean, if we can get a Super Bowl, I won't complain. But again, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. I know I've already asked like 40 times, but I would appreciate it. And let me know what team I should do next. But I really hope y'all enjoyed. Expect something fun on Wednesday here. And oh yeah, subscribe to the second channel because I think also on Wednesday, I'm gonna have my first video of a new series coming out there. Link to my second channel in the description. It's gonna be similar to the stuff I do here, just, it's gonna be, I don't know how much I wanna spoil. Just be sure to subscribe to the second channel. But thank you all so much for watching, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.